Hey everyone, and welcome back for round 2 of what I'm now calling the Norton Critical Edition, the Norton Critical Annotated Edition of Elder Scrolls Morrowind, in which I probably end up dicking around a bit around Seyda Neen, and sort of seeing what's happening around here. Alright, let's get to it. Yeah, there's Fargoth. Now,
stranger, my time is short, so get on with it.
I'm pretty sure that Fargoth is single-handedly responsible for, the ensuing portrayal of Wood Elves Bosmer in every single subsequent Elder Scrolls game since other Bosmer, and in the lore, Bosmer aren't anything like this, but since then, pretty much every Bosmer you've encountered has been a sniveling kind of, well, I don't even quite know how to put it. But I think that probably has to do with the fact that Fargoth is one of the few things that everyone who played Morrowind had in common. Like, this was such a huge game. But this first encounter with this sniveling, obnoxious wood elf was like a touchstone. That I feel like defined the game for some people. And especially because I feel like a lot of people didn't necessarily end up digging too deep into the game in some ways. And like Fargoth is very much easy to encounter. I swear they took my ring. Let's shake down Fargoth ritual. No, I'm definitely a Telvanni. I ain't giving you your ring back. That's my magic ring now, Fargoth. I am Fargoth, Commetary. Sorry, I want to sort of go through the various dialogue options, here. Fort Frostmoth. Never heard of it? It's an island called Solstheim, north of Vardenfell. Tell me about Solstheim. Frozen island up to the north. You might check for transportation in Kull. See, if you install Blood Moon, this topic is added to literally every single NPC in the entire game. So even people you aren't supposed to be able to talk to can be gone up and asked about latest rumors, and we'll tell you about Solstheim. But let's see what his actual rumor is. Local tax collector is missing. Once again, thinking about world design here, like we were talking about the Census and Excise office last time, like, so we have a tax collector. He's an Imperial. And he's missing. So, like, we're already feeling imperial bureaucracy, but we're also sort of seeing that it's not unidimensional. like, once again... It goes back to this idea that as we encounter the Empire, it's very complex. Any other rumors? Nope. Little advice. Some rough customers come into town now and then for supplies. So there's bandit caves around here. Daedra, you know what they are, right? Well, Daedric shrines are where... You know what they are, right? Actually, there's a pretty good chance you don't know what they are. Bad people who summon bad Daedra. Stay away from them. Why? Because Daedra are nasty, and the folks that worship them are even nastier. Not much else in the way of services in this damp little squat. No, I already asked about Solstein. Aril and Aril's trade house. Scosius Ergala. We already met him. He was the one who took my papers. That's the Coast Guard, too. Silt Strider services to Vivek, Balmorad, Nisus, and Saran. Road goes north past Pelagiad to Balmora, east to Vivesk, and southeast to Ebonheart. Alright, well, I think we've learned just about as much as from him as we can. Let's see what else there is to see in this little podunk collection of shacks. See, I'm not playing with any gameplay mods or anything like that. But I am playing with a comprehensive graphics overhaul. Which I feel like... I wanted to sort of encounter the game world it was originally designed, but I feel like having it not necessarily look better isn't the word I'm looking for, but like, if nothing else, taking away the sort of, like, perpetual nearsightedness you have in the game and sort of restoring the game world to its... to the kind of bigger fullness that it would have had they had the technical capacities at that time, helps sort of approach it with a new eye, as it were. Like, I feel like sort of seeing the same things again, but having them look just a little bit different is part of, for me, the process of re-engaging with this game. That will be shaping this playthrough. Enduro Ratherion. Oh, you have plenty of time, eh? Commoner. Well, everyone seems to know about the tax collectors. You're an outlander. Maybe you don't know about the kinds of Daedric ruins we have here in Morrowind. Well, more people telling me about Daedra. So already, very early on, we have the importance and sort of presence of Daedra in Morrowind. Strongly established. Daedric cults worship the bad Daedra. You can learn more about that at the temple. People used to worship Molegbol, Malakath, Sheogorath, and Mehunes Dagon. But lately, since the Empire came in, some people have taken up worshipping the bad Daedra at these old sites. Interesting. Nope, she just says the same thing.
Any time now.
Wonder what the guard has to say. Imperial Legion. Background. I am an Imperial Guard. If you do the crime, pay the fine. Don't do the time. Buy from merchants who like you. Imperial. Our civilization has brought peace and prosperity to all Tamriel. We place our faith in hard work, education, and discipline. We prefer free trade and diplomacy, but are not ashamed to use force.
Any time now.
New here? Take the Silt Strider to Vivek or Balmora, fast and cheap. Wild animals, and smugglers, and bandits, and outlaws. Yeah, no kidding. This is a dangerous place. Tell her Vodunius Nucius sent you. That's right, that's me. Oh yeah. Discount on the Silt Strider. More advice about the Daedra, that's the local lighthouse there. Random people's houses usually have little of interest beyond... Oh, that's the back door. Where I would go if I was a dirty thief. Alright, well I already know where Arel's trade house is. The front door from many times having played this game. Oh man. Look at that swamp. That's beautiful. I could literally just sit here for 2 minutes and admire the view. Well, welcome to Vardenfell. That wasn't what I wanted. Aha, there we go. I barter for goods or coin. What's your good advice? Oh, they're smugglers. That must have been those rough characters they were talking about before. Practice on creatures and outlaws, and anyone who attacks you first. popular potions. For a short burst of power during a fight, you can't beat some booze. Popular scrolls giving me some... Turn yourself into a guard, pay your fine, and clear your name. The way they handle crime in these games is really interesting. Like, Tamriel has a very particular idea about criminality. Oh, there's Hriskar, whose knife that we liberated last time. Or, well, the knife that he was supposed to sharpen. Apparently that might not have been the only wager that he lost. Well, I should really buy me a spell or two. I'll get me frostbite. No, I don't want iron arrows. I want apparel. And a mage's robe. And maybe a half-decent shirt. And hey, what do you know, I saved a septum in bargaining. Alright, let's put on that shirt and that robe, and now we look a bit more like a mage. Getting used to the controls in this game is a little wonky. I keep wanting to hit escape to leave menus, but that doesn't work exactly.
Make it quick, Outlander.
Then we have a Dunmer. Most Outlanders stick close to the Imperial Guilds and the Legion. Service in one of the Dunmer Great Houses. You'll have to find someone who'll speak to you. House Lalu and Redoran are pretty reasonable. House Telvanni, the Wizard House, they're another story. Indeed. Tell me about Dunmer. We're the dark-skinned, red-eyed elven people of Morrowind. The Westerners call us Dark Elves, but we prefer to call ourselves Dunmer. Interesting that they call the Imperials the Westerners. In the sense that that constructs Morrowind as kind of an oriental place. Which in many ways it definitely is. My cousin claimed he saw a city in the water near Ganar Mok. He's a drunkard, though, and he spends too much time out in the sun. Huh. I actually have no idea what they're talking about there. Interesting. It's probably a dwarven ruin. But I might go check it out. The Lives of Saints. So here's another very early book we encounter. Sort of explains some foundational things about the Dunmer. I might take a quick read through this depending on how many pages it is. Okay. There we are, Saint Nerevar the Captain. Patron of outcasts and spiritual seekers. The decadent home country of the Somerset Isles. Taught the difference between good and bad Daedra. Won the aid of the good Daedra for his people while teaching how to carefully negotiate with the bad Daedra. Saint Erelor the Penitent. Self-respect and respect for others. It's interesting how much emphasis Dunmer put on both pride and humility. In the sense that Dunmer sees sort of cultivating a strong selfhood is good, but part of that is understanding your connection and deference to others. It's also interesting how many of these saints have something to do with abjection, like the penitent, or beggars and outcasts. He could neither read nor write, receiving inspiration directly from the lips of Umsivi. patron of furnishers and caravanners. Proudly refused to renounce the tribunal faith. Testing, ordeal, and repentance. Here we see benevolence very much used in, like, the Confucian sense. Formulated the central rituals and first principles of the new temple faith. Saint Lothus is the symbolic mortal bridge between the gods and the faithful, and the archetypical priest. Indeed, that was pretty edifying in terms of Dunmer culture, and I think it's really telling that it's the one book they have in this podunk trade house. And it's also one you commonly find in people's houses and other common places. In the sense that it very much functions as like a commonplace book. Something that inculcates value. So we see a book that doesn't just have a function for the people, or for us, the player, but has a function for the people in the world as well. Like it has a reason to exist. So, I feel like I mentioned last time, like, a lot of books seem like they're randomly placed, and to a certain extent, that's kind of true. There are definitely books that are like, what, why is it here? But actually, I take that back. Most of the time, book placement, is very deliberate. And usually says something about both the owner of the book and the book itself. And what do you know? Here's Hriscar Flatfoot.
What say you?
He's got something up. Recover some gold. Ran out of luck playing 9 holes. Money the locals pay us for protection. Especially that little fetcher, Fargoth. Yeah, he is a little fetcher. Fargoth's hiding place. Yeah, I'll do it. Lighthouse on outside of town. No, Hriscar is a member of the Legion. Hence his shield. Who else is here in this upstairs room? Welcome to Seyda Neen. Is there some specific place? What's your trade? I'm a scout. Places, plants, paths, wind, and weather. Vardenfell has 9 regions, each with its own plants and terrain. And apparently you are expert in 2 of them. Vardenfell District. Alright, is the sound gonna keep doing that? Because I might have to turn the music off.
You're on your honor. Don't press your luck.
Yeah. Okay, sadly, this is probably going to be a musicless play session for the rest of this. Vardenfell is covered by hostile deserts, except for the settled southwest. 6 administrative districts of the imperial province of Morrowind. Dominated by Red Mountain. Inner Sea, the water between Morrowind. Why are you doing this? Come on. Come now, computer. That's just not very nice, you know. Well, we interrupt these messages, for some technical fixes, but we'll be back. Okay, everyone, we're back, and last time, before I had to, troubleshoot some things, we were, talking to Rathlod the Braggart, about the various regions of, Morrowind. Swamp fever capital of the world. A friend of mine says you have to visit the House of Earthly Delights in Saran. Well... a lot of money to be made in looting the Dwarven ruins. Against the law, yes, but there's profit to be made. Folks turn a blind eye. Interesting, once again, here... like, we're feeling both the omnipresence of the Empire, and the fact that there's, like, laws and regulations about, looting archaeological sites. Although, in truth, as we'll find out, that's only because, the Empire only wants official sanctioned looting through the East Empire Company. But how should I put it? Oh, I had a point about it, but I can't remember now. Basically what I just think is interesting about this, is that we're having this activity, placed in a context once again. So, Morrowind, telling me about the Empire, my trade, geographic regions, yes. Tell me about the Bitter Coast. Hidden coves and islands are hardy for smugglers. Sheograd. Seyda Neen, he says the same things about the Inner Sea. No. A terrible place, I've heard. There's a boat from Kull if you have any reason to go. I do a little of this, a little of that. Indeed. What else do we have? This is a bar. Another scout. This one filled with directions to places. Pelagiad. Houses and shops are built in the Western Imperial style. District seat of House Lalu. It's a long walk and a little confusing. No shit. Like, one of the things I find interesting about this is in order to find out how to actually get anywhere, like, sensibly, you actually have to go ask a scout. North of Balmora on the road to Aldaroon. One of the largest cities in the east. Giant town-sized buildings called cantons. And how do I get to Ebonheart? The seat of imperial government. Council Chambers and Hawkmoth Legion. East Empire Company. Nope, you can only tell us about the Bitter Coast. North to Ganar Muck. Oh, there's a tiny island fishing village and... it's foul ash wastes. Guide for travelers and traders. Crossing the bridge out of town, just stay on the road. Get a copy of Guide to Vardenfell. That might not be a bad idea. So it's interesting, I've played almost an hour and haven't even fought anything. In fact, probably more than an hour at this point. Much less gone anywhere. But for, like, a thorough player, it would take that long. And I have the advantage of having played the game many times before, so I can at least make sense of all these names. Little advice. Scout and Journeyman of the Blades. Interesting that she tells me that before I've actually joined the Blades. Aren't you all supposed to be like secret agents? Ah, well. Just one of this game's little quirks. Let's see who else is here. Gateway to Morrowind. New in Morrowind, eh? Well, the natives are not very friendly. They look down on the other races. If you aren't Dunmer and native-born, you're an outlander. Battle Mage. Did you hear that some fool lost Mentor's ring in a tomb along the Bitter Coast, or so they say? Interesting. That might be worth remembering. I've never actually dug this deep into rumors. Most people end up saying the same thing. But something like this, and the woman downstairs who told us about the floating city near Ganar Muck, is kind of more interesting, unscripted targeting on the point of the game. Or on the part of the game. My trade. Master of the science of war. I've already asked all these things. Nope, you just tell me all the same things. What's your trade? The noble tools of medium armor and long blade. A lot of people out there are wearing very nice armor and very nice weapons. But if you happen to find some outlaws...
Anytime you're ready. Just don't keep me waiting.
Anything else here? Trade house notice. Athen Lelthan, Grace of all gods, King of Morrowind. Licensed and allowed said Aril to keep a common trade house or corner club in the house wherein he now dwelleth in the port of Seyda Neen, aforesaid for 3 full years from henceforth next ensuing, or till other time as shall be by us or some of our fellow magistrates thereunto appointed. Interesting. So this is the official document that, licenses this trade house. So once again, to sound like a broken record, but that's because we're seeing it everywhere, like, a document like this provides us a link between sort of government and trade, and then some merchants you interact with. So we know this is a licensed legal business with certain expectations, and also that, like, it's a source of revenue, for the people of, or for the government. And, like, by placing something here, it's a really interesting piece of environmental storytelling, because once again, you were using a document not just to lore dump on you. Like, this isn't just like, you know, a primer on Seyda Neen, but it's a functional document, through which, by reading, we can learn something about this place. Shall not suffer any stranger Interesting. So we see, regulations on vagrancy here. Or at least that's what it sounds like. So you can only stay for a day without getting harassed by the guards. That he shall not suffer any playing of cards, tables, dice, bowls, nine holes, or any other lawful game, or any disorder or outrage in his house, orchard, garden, or backside. Interesting, because, we already know that Hriskar, lost a bunch of money in nine holes. And in fact, it was Arel himself who told us about that. So we have this discrepancy between what's on the paper, no gambling, and what's obviously going on, in this institution. That he shall not suffer any neighbors, children, servants, or slaves to tipple in his house at all. Tipple in the hours of prayer or lessons, or on any emperor's or festival days, nor at any time after the 8th hour of night. So, in fact, we're actually seeing a very strict legal regime, very much in accordance with sort of how real pre-modern businesses like this were, at least nominally regulated. So no gambling, no vagrancy, no drinking during religious ceremonies. Rogues, vagabonds, or tradeless men. So, like, being unemployed is a crime. That's actually pretty common. On the other hand, we have old... What's his name? Here to our left. Once again, very obviously breaking the law. Any goods of unknown travelers. Or servants or slaves, or of any man's wife. So he can't buy things from the indentured without the approval of nor any other victuals prohibited by the laws of this realm. Fascinating. No bawdry or criminal conversation. Well, once again, we broke that one. Drunk. That he shall cause this license to be openly fixed up in the hall room of his dwelling house, to the end that every man may see what articles he is bound to observe. So the 10th item here even explains why the hell this document's just sitting about. Undersigned. Fascinating. Interestingly, all of the Hlalu masters who undersign this are also real NPCs who can be found in the game. Like Yingling Half-Troll, or the infamous Crassius Curio, author of The Lusty Aragonian Maid. So, I think we found just about as much as we're going to find in Arel's trade house.
You like to dance close to the fire, don't you?
Although I might end up buying this guide to
Hurry us along.
Make it quick.
Guide to Vardenfell. Does it actually? No, I don't want an axe. That's the Lives of Saints. And I was led along. He doesn't have a guide to Vardenfell. Unless it's sitting out here somewhere. Nope, I don't see any books.
What say you? You like to dance close to the fire. What's this about?
Huh.
What say you? You like to dance close to the fire, don't you?
Speak, traveler.
Well then. At the moment, I only have 6 septums, which isn't enough for the Silt Strider.
What assistance do you need?
What do you want, Altmer? I'll talk to you later, maybe. So I'm gonna complete that quest and maybe,
Outlander, or go away.
steal Fargoth's loot. Hello? Who are you? Commoner? You're bitter green, Outlander. New in town. Spread a little bit of the Emperor's gold. Okay, you clearly don't know anything. The race wedding dowry. A skill book. Now this is a little long at the moment, but I might just steal it and read it later. I feel like a good thing to do would maybe to have every other episode or so be like story time. Just devoted to reading a book or two of the longer ones that I've picked up. Okay, here we are. at the top of the lighthouse, and now we just have to wait for the night. It's 3 p.m. I'll give that 6 hours. Now, where's that little fetcher Fargoth? Any day now. Any day now. Oh, I think I see him. Yep, that's definitely Fargoth skulking around. Let's see where he skulks off to. Oh yeah, it's in that stump. Actually, I think I remembered that. But more fun to go through the motions. Oops. Ouch. And what a beautiful sky tonight, if I might add. Of course, I could just walk away with the gold. But I might as well finish the quest.
I'm waiting.
You have something to say to me?
Oh, yep, he's definitely in the Legion.
If you need a good laugh or a tall tale, you've come to the right place.
Make it quick, Outlander.
So the only thing I got from that was information about how to join the Legion. Not that my character's really interested in doing that.
Speak quickly, Outlander, or go away.
Now, we do know there's some smuggler caves around here.
This better be important.
Uh-huh, the Imperials have taken everything.
Is limited.
Mop. Adamasartus Cave. It's right over there near the Stiltstrider port. You got those guards. Look at them, just strutting around. Someone must have paid them to ignore the smuggling. See, you gotta love that. The little details. Like in Skyrim, you know, there'll be bandits 5 feet away from the guards and no one will remark about it. But here we have this integrated design. Might as well pick up some alchemy ingredients while I'm around here. Aha. Here's the smuggler's cave. Let's give him a taste of my magic. Oh, that didn't do very much damage, did it? I should probably set. So 1 will be... and 2 will be shield. I failed casting the spell! Okay, I'm just gonna burn this fool. Fortunately, this smuggler's just about as weak as I am. Ha ha ha! There's a key, and there's... well, they're smuggler buckets. Hey, those are nice buckets. Maybe they'll... oh, you can't rest here. There's enemies nearby. Oh, slaves.
You want something?
Who I can all conveniently ask about Solstein. Will you let me go free? I don't know. Will I let them go free? No. Because I'm a Telvanni jerk. I'm just here for the loot.
Questions again.
Aha! Another mage! No, stop that! I'm dying. Ugh. Alas, I am dead. That may in fact happen a few times, or more than a few over the course of this playthrough, and so if it starts to get excessive, I will turn off and then tune back in after I've completed whatever objective I'm going for. Let's see, do I have any better magic? Oh, I only have an 83% chance of casting that. Alright, smugglers, you're toast.
Now you die!
Aha! Gotcha! Well, that went slightly better than last time. Dispose of corpse. Now, I like how there was a billows right next to that fire. And there's the boat that they use. Details, details. Quick save first. Stop that. No, no. I feel like this might be time to use my dagger. Which would mean I also have to turn on always use best attack. Yep. No! Oh, god damn it! Okay, that's it. I've forgotten that. Morrowind 101. Don't try and fight anybody until at least level 3 or 4. Make that especially so as a pure mage. This is a dangerous land. Also, a very unbalanced game.
Let's hear it.
In which I chose to go with possibly the worst possible build.
Sorry, stranger. My time is short, so get on with it.
Nope.
hurry this
So
along.
make it quick.
Yes, I'm here to sell you this junk that I picked up from the bandits. That's 10. Can't you at least give me 12? 11? Come on. That's just an awful spell. 2 to 20 damage? Ah yes, Dunmer have resist fire 75%. That's probably why I wasn't killing that guy. Okay, let's take the Silt Strider to Balmora. And, see if Caius Cosades can't give us a little bit of help. Oh, look, it's the morning. And I think that, after this Silt Strider ride, it might be a good place to cut it off for this episode.
Where would you like to go?
Seaport Village. Carry passengers and cargo. Destination. Background. Caravaner. I don't think he's happy here in Morrowind. Your journal has been updated. Travel. Balmora, 14 gold pieces.
We make a special trip. Say low price.
And we've arrived in the big city. Take a look. We've got it made. Hey, look, there's a dwarven ruin. And you'll get to find out the fascinating adventures in Balmora next time.